There's no other way.
Oh, forgot.
Baby, you are born this way. Born this way.
Wow, that's good. That was good.
Really?
Yeah, you hit it. You hit it. I don't really know. Oh, I know those words, but I don't really know that song like that, so I just let you take it. But I had the percussion. Questionable.
We should start over.
Hello, guys. If you hadn't guessed it, we're talking about capitalism. Just kidding. We're not.
No, we're talking about Pride, baby. Happy Pride Month to our LGBTQI+, IA+ listeners out there. We fucking love you. This is your month. However, we know this episode is airing on the last day of the month, but it's on purpose. Today's the anniversary that you're hearing this. Today's the anniversary of the Stonewall riots. And there's a lot of things that I didn't know.
Same. I really didn't know that much. I have to be honest. I'm really uninformed about the history, and so this was good for us to do.
Like I've done many a gay pride. I'm an ally.
I've done many a gay pride.
And in New York too. And I knew there were, of course, the rioting going on, but like, I mean, I knew about Marsha P. Johnson. She's an amazing advocate. You have to learn and know more about Marsha P. Johnson. She was a Black transgender woman who was so pivotal in helping the LGBTQ community and helping with sex workers and prisoners because of sex work and all that stuff. Inmates. She worked tirelessly for people with HIV and AIDS and all this stuff. And she was actually credited to throwing the first brick at Stonewall. So like what happened at Stonewall, because Stonewall was like a really popular gay bar and with like drag queens and everything. And at the time masquerading as someone of the opposite sex was
illegal.
Yeah, it was a crime. So yeah, it was like weird. Like the police came and they started arresting people and it was like, no. And there was a riot and like Marsha P. Johnson was the first one. She shot a brick. She threw a brick or a shot? Or, yeah.
She shot a brick?
She sharted. And it sparked the riots and she fucking, it was amazing.
And that was in New York City, June 28th, 1969, following a police invasion of a gay club located in Greenwich Village. And it's interesting when they say masquerading as a member of the opposite sex was a crime. I often think about fashion a lot in historical context and how, you know, it took so long for women to be able to even wear pants. However, even where we are now, I, as a female, can, without discrimination or a second look, I can be as tomboyish as I want and go outside in sweats or baggy pants and a t-shirt and a ball cap, and that's normal. And so is probably the only area where women have more freedom. I mean, obviously men can, and it's not a crime right now, but the looks you're going to get, I get zero looks if I dress like that more than half the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like different. If a man just decides to put on a sundress and go out, it's not a crime right now, but you're going to get looks and you might get violence against you.
Oh yeah. And you know why? Is because anything that's deemed feminized and feminine.
Yes.
Is lesser than.
Right. So even when it might seem like women are, in that situation, women have more privilege. No, the whole reason that men are chastised for it and victimized is because femininity is seen as weak and less than and not as good.
That's why, it's like women can be tomboys and they're considered cool. The cool girls. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like all those stereotypes of what a cool girl is. And like, this is full circle of really what this fucking is. And this is for a fact. You can quote me on this. Like, the cool girl trope that can be a tomboy that can fuck with cars and like watches sports and hangs with the dudes all the time, no girlfriends or whatever. And they're like women, like big whatever. Reason why they're considered the cool girls and why they're such a trope and why men love them, because they're just men. Yeah, they love men with men with boobs. So at the end of the day, what this episode is about is all men are gay.
No, I disagree.
All men are fucking gay.
I disagree. I know some very, very straight men.
Yes, but what does that even mean? I feel like sexuality is a spectrum, and I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, even the ones that say they're very straight.
No, okay. I've had this conversation.
They'll like...
I disagree. If it's a spectrum, okay, I had this conversation with a close friend of mine, and she's dating a woman, and she's dated men before, but she was saying to me, like, I don't know what you were just saying, like, everybody, there's no, you're not really straight. Like, everybody, and it is a spectrum, I accept that, but like, there's no way that you're just attracted to men. There's no, and I was explaining to her, I'm like, look, it's not a choice, just like yours isn't a choice. I swear to God, I accept women are beautiful. I am strictly dick league. Like, I literally have never, and I know it's a spectrum, but I know I'm on this end of the spectrum. And she even said to me, she was saying, she's like, I don't know, but I don't know. And then she was like, wait a minute. In the lesbian community or the gay community, we don't question someone when they say they're only into women. We
that, you know, that's actually a thing, a really good thing that you brought up about what bisexual means to different people, because when that is so, I think this is what you're going for, or you're talking about. It's like when women claim they're bisexual, people claim that they're doing it for attention. But when men say they're bisexual, no, you can't be, you're gay.
Right. Yes, that is a thing too. Well, I was just trying to say that, like, in the gay, well, she was telling me in the gay community, we don't question any gay male or female who says they're only into men or women.
Yeah.
But we question people who consider themselves straight. And she's like, that's not really fair either. If we accept that there's this end of the spectrum, there's obviously another end. And I have no issue with it. I just know, like, it's men for me all day.
I think the assumption there is why we don't question why, you know, people that identify as gay couldn't be, you know, maybe a little bit bisexual. Maybe you're into women a little bit, or into men a little bit. It's because of the repressive society that we live in. It's because any sort of homosexuality, any sort of queerness has been so deeply repressed that if you come to that realization that is how you identify, that's coming through a lot of trauma, a lot of self-discovery, a lot of things when becoming straight and kind of recognizing your straightness doesn't come with any self-discovery. It's something that's, since you're born, you're kind of just like, you kind of accept, and then you have to come out of the closet as gay, you have to come out as straight. So it's like,
right.
So I guess, I feel like that's maybe why we don't question people that like have to go through all this self-discovery to come to that identity.
And at the same time, they are questioned all the time. They're the oppressed group.
Yes.
So it's very, I live and let live.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. There's also another woman I wanted to talk about too. Yeah. This amazing transgender woman who's Puerto Rican, and she worked heavily with Marsha P Johnson too, Sylvia Rivera. And she fought hard for transgender rights, and she created a STAR for Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries to help homeless LGBTQ youth. And she was such a fucking pioneer during this time too. So I wanted to shout her out. And these are, like, you know, I don't know if there's a pattern here with the women we're talking about. Like, they are women of fucking color. Yes. And they're the ones that are at the forefront of all of change, of all of this positive change. As always. In the community, as as always. And they're the least protected.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And Black transgender women are murdered at alarming rates. They have a bleak life expectancy between 35 and 37 years old.
Can you fucking believe that shit?
That is the life expectancy of Black transgender women, according to Julian K. Glover, an African-American studies doctoral student at Northwestern. And they receive an annual income of $10,000, annual income of $10,000, well below the poverty line. According to the Human Rights Campaign at the time of press, at least 10 of them have been murdered already this year, and much more fear for their lives. And I don't even know when this was we're halfway
through
the year.
This is recent, yeah.
Okay, so we're halfway through the year. So it's something that when people don't, when they don't relate and they don't understand, they ignore. And that's how we are as humans, but it is because we are intelligent beings. It's our duty to stay informed about things that don't affect us, because in reality they do.
Yep.
If you think it doesn't affect you, you can be a white male. The way that Black transgender women are treated does affect you, and we can explain it to you how it trickles down the line, but you just feel unaffected. At the end of the day,
And it's just so fucking sad how it's like it's always going to be the women of color and trans women. It's like that they have to be the ones that take the brunt of all this shit, and they have to put up, roll their sleeves up.
Yep. Always.
It's just like the pattern of our society.
It is.
So
Why
tiring.
is Stacey Abrams having to carry the weight of
everything? But what really we wanted to do this episode was not only like talk about the Stonewall riots and like the importance of that, and Sylvia and Marsha. And also, so her name is Marsha P. Johnson. You know what? People would ask her what P stands for. You know what she would say? Pay it no mind. That's what it stands for.
I love that.
So I love her. So shout out to her. But what we wanted to do was shout out queer-owned businesses. Like, we know like all these fucking corporations, they love to do their rainbow, their Yes Queen shirts, like Target, and like that's great and all. But like at the end of the day, are they supporting queer charities, queer organizations?
And at the end of the day, who's running these companies?
Yeah, and it's just let's get to the meat. Let's actually support small businesses owned by queer people, and fuck yeah. And we did this before. So if you're on YouTube, you get to see, we'll have like little images of like the products that they share.
Oh yeah, around the holidays we did a Black-owned business one that was fire. So check it out. Gift guide. It was like the holiday gift guide.
Yeah. So first business is called Other Side. Other Side was Other Wild. Other Wild was opened in LA in 2012 and now has a second location in New York City. And they were founded by Rachel Burks, a queer woman who you might remember as the woman who brought the Future is Female shirt. I'm sure you've seen those. She also uses her small business to give back to the community by donating to organizations like Planned Parenthood, the National Center for Transgender Equality, the Lesbian Her Story Archives, and Black Lives Matter. Her shop sells a variety of LGBTQ plus inspired apparel, accessories, housewares, media, and apothecary that range from loud and proud to silly and subtle. So check out otherwild.com.
Yes. And this next one, I think it's pronounced fluid, right? But it's with an E.
Fluid. It's French. Je ne peux pas parler français. It's sexy.
Fluid. Fluide. So Fluid, I'm going to say Fluid. Here we are. Fluid is a queer-owned beauty company that produces makeup for men, women, and everyone in between. Co-founders Isabella Giancarlo and Laura Kraber started this radical, community-based beauty business back in 2018 after wanting to see queer beauty represented by queer people. Important. A lot of things aren't represented by those they're trying to represent.
Yeah, no, it's just performative for a lot of people. Yeah.
Fluid's collection covers all gender expressions, identities, and skin tones, so everyone can find something for them. And that is FLUIDE.US.
So amazing. Wild Fang is another business. They were founded in 2013. Wild Fang sells a variety of clothing, accessories, and shoes for all women, ranging from casual to professional styles. Co-founded by former Nike employees Emma McIlroy and Julia Parsley, Wild Fang is a queer-owned business and is queer-owned and is an inclusive, feminist-leaning business. Some of its more well-known products are the Wild Feminist Collection and the Empower suit that comes with actual pockets and tons of flexibility. We love pockets. We stand pockets.
Love pockets.
It doesn't hurt that the company is great at giving back as well. In 2018 alone, Wild Fang raised over $400,000 for charities that support reproductive, immigrant, and women's and humans' rights.
Wow.
Yeah, 400 fucking thousand in just 2018. It's only been a couple of years. So
imagine having full agency over your own body. Imagine.
Actually, I can't.
I can't. What that means?
No. So yeah, wildfang.com.
Yes. Rebirth Garments is a very important one. So Rebirth Garments sells gender non-conforming wearables and accessories for people on the full spectrum of gender, size, and ability. Founder Sky Cubicub, a non-binary queen and disabled Philippine ex-human, really understands that trans and disabled communities in particular have very specific clothing needs that are rarely, if ever, properly fulfilled by mainstream clothing designers. Rebirth Garments challenges, this is their quote, challenges mainstream beauty standards that are sizist, ableist, and conform to the gender binary. Find them on Etsy, Rebirth Garments.
Yeah, that's really important. Love that. So this is another one, Different Pigeon. It's spelled DFRNT Pigeon. They're a fashion brand that was created much differently than most of the other brands that you shop. This company was started as a partnership between the digital design firm AKQA and Portland's New Adventures for Youth. Their business model is simple. Design professionals mentor homeless youth, 40% of whom identify as part of the LGBTQ community. These kids are then paid to design and market a clothing line that derives from their own lives and experiences. That's fucking amazing. This then helps them fuel their careers and propel them into the working world. The store sells a variety of clothing, mugs, pins, patches, journals, stickers, and more. So the option to donate a shirt also to a youth in need. So differentpigeon.com, DFRNT pigeon.com. And like, if you listen to our capitalist episode, like, it's just so fucking interesting where you can do this with homeless youth, where they can fucking design clothes, and it just inspires them to keep going, because capitalism is designed that the worker is completely disengaged from the product in which they're selling and making, and but this is turning that on its head.
Taco Bell's pink meat exists.
What?
Google it. Okay, so Stuzo, I think you say it's Stuzo.
Yeah, Stuzo.
Stuzo. So started in 2010 by Stony Michele and Uzo Ejikeme. Could be saying that wrong. I'm very sorry. And they're currently dating. Side note.
They got together.
Stuzo is a gender-free clothing company that is one of the few found in our research to put an emphasis on the POC queer community. As they so cleverly put it, our pieces are unisex, are gender-free, as we prefer to call them, because clothes don't have any organs last time we checked. I don't know. I got some pants that
had a vagina.
They have a dick somewhere in there. Sorry, Mom.
Just a couple balls.
Celebrities such as Ruby Rose. I love Ruby Rose. Gorgeous.
She doesn't make you a little bit of a lesbian?
No, she doesn't. However, when I do think about, because I'm an aesthetic person, and this is a little side note, I'll come back to this, but beauty is beauty, and I love women are beautiful. That is separate from sexual attraction, as like, you know, I could have a beautiful bedspread. I don't want to fuck it, but
yeah.
Or do I? Just kidding. I love interior. I love interior design. Okay, but really, like, I find her stunning, and that is totally separate to me. Like, no part of me, even in the drunkest state, like, zero part of me goes there. And that's just where I am on the spectrum. But she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
She's amazing.
She was in Orange is the New Black. I don't know if you guys saw that, but you should. Tiffany Haddish from Girls Trip, obviously. Jada Pinkett Smith from Will Smith's family.
From Tupac.
From Tupac. Yeah, you're right. There's some of the many people from all walks of life that wear Stuzo brand clothing. So it's STUZO clothing.com.
Sway is another shop founded in LA in 2017. Sway So Shop is an ethically sourced gay-owned home goods and clothing brand. They have a beautiful stuff. We'll be showing those. Sway products are made from a combo of post-consumer waste, dead stock, and domestically organically grown fibers. If you have any clothing that has a broken zipper or ripped jeans or any flaws, you can send them in to be fixed for a small fee. But through this green production process and providing people the opportunity to repair their clothes, Sway has diverted 500,000 pounds of garment waste from landfill since 2017. Wow. So you gotta fucking support them. So Sway, SUAYLA.com.
Yes. And this last one, if anything, for the name, I love them for this reference. A Tribe Called Queer.
I mean, come on now.
It's so good.
It's so good.
A Tribe Called Queer was created by Sabine Maxine Lopez, a queer femme of color from LA. This shop has tons of queer and black pride products that are affordable, fashionable, and make a statement with phrases like, women of color are the backbone of America.
Say it. Say less.
The most accurate, say less.
Say less.
The most accurate statement that could be made, and I do not say that lightly.
Yes.
With shirts, pins, beanies, bucket hats, phone cases, and more, there will definitely be something here for you as of this month. I know this episode is coming out the 28th because we wanted to hit the anniversary of Stonewall. Go there anyway, but for Pride Month, a portion of proceeds will be donated to organizations such as Black Lives Matter and Project Q, a nonprofit organization that provides free gender-affirming haircuts, workshops, clothing, job placement, mentorship, and so much more to LGBTQ and homeless youth. So they are a tribe called queer.com.
So please support these businesses. Educate yourself. Have fun at Pride. If you already had your Pride, I hope you had a good time. I hope it was nice, good, clean fun. Hope
Dirty
your kids
fun.
were safe.
Dirty fun. Don't listen to her.
We're going to shout out the Marsha P. Johnson Institute today. They protect and defend the human rights of Black transgender people. They do this by organizing, advocating, creating an intentional community to heal, developing transformative leadership, and promoting collective power. They intend to reclaim Marsha P. Johnson and the legacy and the relationship as Black trans people to her life and legacy. It is in their reclaiming of Marsha that they give themselves permission to reclaim autonomy to their minds, bodies, and to futures. They are founded as both a response to the murders of Black trans women and women of color, and that is connected to the inclusion from social justice issues, namely racial, gender, and reproductive justice, as well as gun violence. So please visit, if you want to learn more and donate, please visit marsHap.org. And yeah, shout out to Black Lives Matter as well.
Shout out Black Lives Matter.
Are we on Patreon?
Oh, have you guys heard of Patreon?
I haven't.
You guys see you've seen the Californians on SNL?
What are you doing here, Stuart? What is Patreon?
You heard of Patreon? So, guys, $3 a month, $7 a month, or $11 a month really, really helps us out. We're literally trying to grow this thing, trying to monetize it so that we can continue to do what we love and bring and improve and grow with you. So please help us out. Nija Brooks, we love you.
Steve Ginn, we love you. Mwah. Hope you had a great Pride, Mr. And Nija. Fuck it. I hope everyone had a great Pride this month. We love you guys. Please follow us at the SOS Pod on Instagram. Subscribe to us, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast. We are there. YouTube.
Share any clips of our conversations that you find interesting, that you think your followers might be interested in your story, and tag us, please. Helps a lot. I think these are conversations that we have them not because we think we are the end all be all of the opinions of them, but because we want to instigate these conversations in our listeners' lives. So please promote it and just see what people in your circle think. And I'm Molly Cottrell.
I'm Melissa Rosano.
Here's to turning meltdowns
into magic.